Hello! Welcome to the Ghost Pepper Lollipop, where the takes are spicy, the host is sweet, and we engage multiple things can be true at the same time and often are. How are you, Red Team? We have been having a good Sunday today. We were doing a little bit of nerdery. We looked at some really cute sea slugs. Did you know that there are really cute sea slugs, Red Team? Did you know that? I just found out today. I was today years old when I found out that there are absolutely adorable sea slugs. And we were watching some stuff about sea slugs, and then we watched some stuff about EVs. And now we are here with y'all. We are here to include y'all in our Sunday shenanigans. I hope you had a good week, YouTube. I hope you're well. Today, I will be taking calls. I will be taking calls about the patriarchy, all of my issues with the patriarchy. And you know, I have issues with the patriarchy. So, here are my prompts. Though, I don't really have a big issue with like discussing other things. If you just like need to have a talk or whatever, I'm here. Especially if you know something weird about some weird religious thing. I am a nerd, so ultimately that is kind of fun for me. And I'm kind of here for that as well. So if you would like to have a conversation with me about why you think Glob is actually a really cool dude and I shouldn't think he's evil, well, 720-927-6768, extension 800. And hey, I am still on the floor because, my bed is too soft. Like, how is that even a thing? Why are beds too soft? How is that even a thing? It's wild that that is even a thing. And, well, it's a thing. So if you want to help with that, there is this as well. If you are just here for the shenanigans, welcome in. I hope you enjoy the shenanigans that I have on offer today. How are you doing? How was your day? We got a whole, like, holiday weekend going on. Words are freaking hard right now. My mouth just doesn't want to make them. What the hell is that about? I've been doing this for like 2 hours already, and now my mouth stops wanting to make words? What even the hell? It's like YouTube comes in and I'm like, they scare me. I can't talk anymore. Just kidding, YouTube. You don't scare me. You don't scare me. You make me a little nervous, but you don't scare me. Yeah, I don't think I've ever lived in a house that runs on like peak power. That's fair. That is fair. That's just fair. That's just fair. What is this thing? Hang on, I gotta find a thing. Because I haven't decided if I wanted to you know, um oh, I know what that is. Okay. I didn't know if I wanted to like have a content to discuss. I mean, we could discuss content because like there is content that I have that we could discuss, and then you can hush me by calling in and telling me why it's wrong. Okay, so for today, would you like to discuss murder, slavery, rape, ritual human sacrifice, Jesus being a lying asshole, Hitler being a Christian, God being impossible, God being pro forced birth? What would y'all like to discuss? Because there are options. I have options because, it's evil, and so there's all kinds of evil options like in here. I mean, I could we could talk about the end times. That's kind of funny. I mean, not funny, haha. It's just funny how like relatable that their like awful way of being is to what they describe in their evil book. Like that's kind of that could be a thing. What would y'all prefer? What would y'all prefer? What do you want the discussion to be today? I did not pick one. I should have picked one. Oh wait, we could just go by like month. How funny is that? Okay. Ooh, for the day. What is today? Let's start with evil of the day. We will begin with evil of the day, and you can bring your offerings of evil if you would like. If you don't have anything good to say about these patriarchal, like evil religions, you could just bring me offerings of evil. I'm gonna give you offerings of evil. You could bring me offerings of evil. It could be a give and take. I mean, if you don't have anything good to say about the religious people. But let's look at today's evil quote. Ready? Let's go. The cure for jealousy. Oh, goodness, gravy. Oh, I'm already afraid. I'm already afraid. All right. And the Lord said to Moses, say to the people of Israel, suppose a man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to her husband. Suppose she sleeps with another man, but there's no witness since she was not caught in the act. If her husband becomes jealous and suspicious of his wife, even if she has not defiled herself, the husband must bring his wife to the priest with an offering of 2 quarts of barley flour to be presented on her behalf. Do not mix it with olive oil or frankincense, for it is a jealousy offering, an offering of inquiry to find out if she is guilty. The priest must then present her before the Lord. He must take some holy water in a clay jar and mix it with the dust from the tabernacle floor. When he has presented her before the Lord, he must unbind her hair and place the offering of inquiry, the jealousy offering, in her hands to determine whether or not her husband's suspicions are justified. The priest will stand before her, holding the jar of bitter water that brings a curse to those who are guilty. The priest will put the woman under oath and say to her, if no other man has slept with you, and you have not defiled yourself by being unfaithful, may you be immune from the effects of this bitter water that causes the curse. Because he gonna curse you. But if you have gone astray while under your husband's authority and defiled yourself by sleeping with another man, at this point, the priest must put the woman under this oath. Then may the people see that the Lord's curse is upon you when he makes you infertile. Now may this water that brings the curse enter your body and make you infertile. And the woman will be required to say, yes, let it be so. Which is also amen. Did you know that let it be so? That amen just means let it be so? Yeah, that's what it means. It's something they stole from other religions before. The original was so mote it be. But never mind what they don't know about their own religion. Let's continue on to this bitter thing that the Sky Daddy has to do to women that to make sure they weren't unfaithful. Let's see. Oh, bring the curse of infertility. But if she has not defiled herself and is pure, she will be unharmed and will still be able to have children. This is the ritual law for dealing with jealousy. If a woman defiles herself by being unfaithful to her husband, or if a man is overcome with jealousy and suspicion that his wife has been unfaithful, the husband must present his wife before the Lord, and the priest will apply his entire ritual law to her. The husband will be innocent of any guilt in the matter, but his wife will be held accountable for her sin. Never mind if the husband's going around cheating and bringing the wife home diseases and stuff. Never mind that, but that was Numbers 5:11 to 31. Never mind the husbands. Never mind the husbands that bring home diseases that actually cause their wives to lose uteruses and things. Never mind that, because, if the husband feels some icky sort of way, he has to be made good. He has to be made whole. And you know what? Since nobody is giving it. Oh, wait, let me read. Oh, that's fair. Same, Little Dragonly. They all stir up negative emotions in me as well. And if we don't talk honestly about it, then other people won't understand why and why it's so dangerous. And that's why we have to have the discussions. We have to discuss why it's so dangerous. We have to discuss why it traumatizes us and why we have negative emotions around it. And we have to have these conversations in an open way, and we have to make accountability safer. It's a whole thing. We've had this discussion, Dragonly. Well, hello, Crazy Fox Lover. I am well. How are you? Are you well today? I hope you are well today. Do you disagree with any of my prompts? Would you like to discuss any of them? There's phone number. I have an extension, but that's only because Zoom makes me. It won't let me change it either, or I would make it funnier. Okay, well, welcome in. Thanks for being here. We were deciding on what evils we would be offering today, and so we have a list. The options are murder in the Bible, slavery in the Bible, rape in the Bible, ritual human sacrifice, lying Jesus, Hitler being a Christian, impossible ass God, or anti-abortion God. I like how you spelled that, Dragonly. Yes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And that was like that was pretty distinctly one of the thing we just read, I think was pretty distinctly one of those things that okays it. You vote all. Oh. All are true. No, fair though. Fair though. I know all of my prompts are true. I know they're all true. I mean, they're all true to me at any rate. They are all true to me. And that is what is really important here, that they are true to me. But if Christians, if you think that those are not true and that I am like risking damnation into heck because I believe these things, you know that your glob says it's your job to convince me otherwise. I mean, none of you have been very good at it thus far, but maybe you're the one, maybe you're special. 720-927-6768. It looks like we are going to discuss how much Glob loves abortion. Because I was just kidding when I said he was pro-forced birth. He's not. Glob is pro-abortion. Glob loves abortion. He does not, Crazy Fox Lover. He doesn't exist. I mean, if you like to imagine your imaginary friend loving you, go you. Love that for you. And Glob doesn't love me. Glob's an evil fucker. And if Glob did love me, he and I would have some pretty big consent issues to discuss. Oh, no, no, no. Abortion is not child sacrifice. Abortion is claiming the right to one's own body. Abortion is an act of consent. Abortion is healthcare, honey. It's just healthcare. It really is nothing more than healthcare. Pregnancy, in every case, is extremely dangerous all of the time. They're incredibly normal things that can kill the mother every time. And our mortality rates for mothers is incredibly bad right now, and it's causing problems. No, prayer is you asking your imaginary friend to fix problems that you're too willfully incompetent and willfully ignorant to work on in your own life. That's what prayer is. Prayer is wishing that somebody will fix something that you actually probably have the tools to fix but refuse to address. It's really weak that you want to have this conversation in my chat instead of calling the line, by the way. You have a whole ass ability to have this conversation and spew your nonsense forth to the rest of my audience, because that you're not the only audience. I know that you're in there by yourself thinking, I'm alone, I can say what I want, but I'm streaming other places too, Puddle Dumpling, and you're just making yourself look weak. You don't have to worry about that. If you don't want to go over there to there, you don't have to, but you can. I mean, but you're just making yourself look weak, and you're disappointing your glob, because your glob says that you are supposed to honestly try to convince me of why he's the bestest guy in the world. But I think he's an evil child rapist murderer fuck, and like, you're not convincing me otherwise. You're incompetent. I mean, at least you're honest. You are incompetent. You are really bad at this. You definitely are really bad at this. And that should tell you, if you have no actual valid reasons and valid ways to express why your glob is the one, the real glob, the actual glob that I should glob onto, if that is true, if he is true, if he is real, you would actually be able to come up with valid arguments and not just spew your fifis. You see how that works? Like, I can give you valid arguments why I think he's evil. Like, do you want to know one of the reasons why I think he's evil? I will tell you why I think he's evil. I can give you several reasons. Just one of them being the thing I just read, where husbands are allowed to cheat on their wives, bring home diseases, and cause her ill But if he even thinks, if his little pea brain even invents the idea that she did something to him, then he takes her before the priest and she has to drink bitter water, whether she did anything or not, just to prove it. Suck an elf. Jesus didn't die for me. Jesus died because he broke the fucking Roman law. He broke Roman law. He declared himself and he broke Roman law. If he even was a real being, he broke Roman law and that's why he died. He didn't die for me. And it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up that your glob, like, first of all, told you that you sinned because of something that happened 2,000 years ago. I'm wondering, crazy, are you white? I'm just curious. Asking for a friend. Are you a white person? Just curious. Are you a white person? Because, I mean, if you believe that Mary sinned and that you have to pay for all of her sins because she sinned so many years ago and you have to pay because she ate an apple that she didn't even know was bad, then how do you feel about reparations? Are you going to be doing land back for my people and reparations for the people that your motherfuckers enslaved? When can we discuss reparations? Because, I mean, if you're willing to pay reparations to Glob and be okay with him raping a child and then having her son tortured to pay for your sins, can we discuss you paying reparations to us? Because I'd like to have that conversation, because that's the real conversation that I'd like to have. You ready to do land back? Are you a proponent now? You here for the land backiness? You ready to start paying the equivalent of today's money for 40 acres and a mule? Because I think that that's the discussion we should have. Because if you think, honestly and truly, all of the things that you have vomited and word saladed into my chat, if you believe all of those things, then you believe that you have sinned because Eve ate an apple. So I would like to understand when you're going to start the land back and reparations movement, because you're going to lead that, right? You and your Christian friends, because you believe that you should have to pay for a crime that somebody committed like 5,000 years ago. So when do you start the movement towards land back and reparations for the people you've genocided and enslaved? Asking for my cousins and friends. Just wondering. When are you gonna do that? Oh, you want to go to Levitical law and show that you're evil and racist? Figures. Pathetic, though. And if you want to have any more of this conversation, you're gonna have to call in, Puddle Dumpling. Because I'm not talking to you anymore unless and until you do. And in fact, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give you a little bit of incentive, because I think that sometimes incentive really helps, to drive people to do the thing that they need to do. I really think that it's important that, 666 seconds. There you go. Enjoy your 666 seconds of being ignored. If you would like to have that ignorance go away and have me listen to you, 720-927-6768. Otherwise, you can suck it out. Did you? I didn't know that, dog. Teach me, educate me, please. Fair, Dragonly. And just doing the self-care work that you do is immense for you, and you inoculate yourself from their nonsense by being willing to be honest with it, and being willing to engage it honestly and not give of your emotional self. This little shit says that somebody hurt me, and yes, people did hurt me, and your religion hurt me, and it can suck an elf, and you didn't hurt me. I don't care about you, Fox. Religion brings out of me the Hulk against people who are in it, and that's the emotion I'm trying to avoid feeding because it's what. Well, and I understand that. And it's not the people that believe it that are the actual problems. I mean, some of them are. I will grant you that some of them are. The biggest problem is that they're gaslit and abused and groomed to believe this and spout this and repeat the evils of it. And like this one went right to Leviticus, and so he was getting racist, so I knew that, I needed to go ahead and time him out and give him incentive to either call or fuck off, whichever he chooses to do. Love you, Dragonly. That's fair. If you need to do self-care, please do self-care. That is what is most important. Hey, Kaya, good to see you, lovely. Oh my goodness, gravy babies of fucking mercy. Goodness, dog, I was this many years old. Holy bat crap, Robin. That is heinous. That is heinous. That is heinous. Holy. Well, thank you for educating us, and holy, that is a heinous thing that needs to be taken out of our language. Goodness gravy. Well, I was this many years old. I was this many days old. I was today years old. Today years old. That's the same. That is true. Micro-learning is a hell of a drug. And if our system didn't insist on repeating the worst aspects of our history, we would know these things and we wouldn't say these things because they're heinous. And yet, if you do not know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. But if you deliberately don't teach it or hide your history, you intend to repeat it. By the way, Buddha, I love everything you wrote there, by the way. All of it I agree with. And you're welcome. You've totally got your own your space at the penthouse. Don't worry about these guys. We have our whole little glitter painted penthouse. If they even go near our penthouse, they'll get psychic damage because it's rainbow glitter. All right, I'm going to hide my face for a moment because I have to. And I want to. Because I choose the bear. And the bear is valid choice. Because people like Fox Lover exist. And so I would rather be in the woods with the bear than with Fox Lover all day, every day, probably 4 or 5 times on Sundays. Also, your handle is offensive, Fox Lover. But, I mean, that probably makes sense because you're kind of offensive. Oh my gravy babies, we got a call. Hello, thank you for calling the stream. How are you today? I am well. May I ask who I am speaking to? So that I am not rude to you and just call you, like, I don't know.
Crazy Fox Lover.
Oh my goodness, Gravy Fox. All right. What you got? Tell me why I should believe that your Sky Daddy is not evil. What is a good reason?
Well, I mean, I just have a good feeling.
A good feeling? But a good feeling doesn't tell me why I should believe.
Are you atheist or do you believe in God? Because if you don't believe in God,
atheist.
Then go in a different conversation.
I am atheist. Okay. I'm very much atheist.
So I don't know who told you you're going to hell or whatever. People tell you all the time. I don't know why they tell you that. It says in the Bible, have mercy on unbeliever because they're the same as believer. It's just division. Everything.
I know. I've read the Bible. I've read it. I wanted to believe in it, actually. I truly did. I really, really wanted to believe in it. I went in entirely good faith, and I read the Bible, and I learned about it. I didn't just decide not to. I was abused by the religious system, and I still tried to believe. And I can't believe in it. There's no, yes. I was kicked out of a religious school at 8 years old because I am autistic, and you have to make things make logical sense to me because unlike common opinion, you can't choose what you believe. You have to be convinced of things, and I can't be convinced of Christianity. And even at 7, 8 years old, I couldn't be convinced of Christianity. And because of the logic questions that I would ask, and the church people being annoyed that they couldn't answer my logic questions in a way that made sense to me, so they would hit me because I wasn't having faith. And then they would
That's wild.
they would
It
hit me
says in the
because
Bible
other
not to harm
kids
little ones.
they would hit me because other kids would ask the same questions that I asked. And then eventually, when they figured out that hitting me didn't make me believe and stop asking, and that I wasn't going to be able to understand and have faith because I'm autistic, and they couldn't make it make sense to me, they kicked me out of the school so that the other kids would not ask questions anymore.
They kicked me out of church too when I was a child.
Well,
They were
why do you
pretty
think that
abusive.
that's a good system if they would hurt you as a child? Like, why did they kick you
Well,
out?
well, I've never seen that in the Bible. Where does it say people are hurting you because you're autistic in the Bible? Like I'm just as shocked as you. Like
Where
and
does it
appalled.
say
That
that
that is
people, well,
crazy.
I mean, if you
I've
don't
never
believe
even
in
even the
Jesus or
tithing
God, then you're
crazy.
punished.
Where? Like it says to break the laws are punished, but it doesn't say just unbelieving is a punishable offense. In fact,
E-
I think most atheists follow the Ten Commandments without knowing it. Where do they follow any other god? Hey, no, no, think about it. Where do they follow any other god? You know what I mean?
I
That's the
don't
first
follow a
commandment.
God. I don't follow any God.
Exactly. So you're still putting him first no matter what
No,
because
no, I'm
you got
not.
him.
No, I'm not.
But listen,
I
you're not.
actually,
But
if I
listen,
were going to
listen.
rank, if
The
I
first
were going to
commandment is to
rank globs that I prefer over your God, which by the way, there's 40,000 some versions of your God. So how do I know the one that you believe in is the exact right one and not the one that used to beat me when I was a child? And I actually would put 6 or 8 gods before yours, beginning with Loki because he's just mischievous and kind of fun. And I have a bit of a shit ass side to me, and I like a little bit of shenanigans. And so I would probably actually put Loki before Yahweh because Loki
I
sounds
actually
way more fun. And if we're gonna go there, I'm gonna put Lucifer next, like both above God, because he is way more fun. He was like, dude, why are you gonna kill them all? You made them kind of fucked up and flawed. You shouldn't just kill them because they're fucked up and flawed. So like, even though he was willing to kill us all and stuff, I still think like at least he saw the abusive nature that was being thrown at us. So like I would probably put him above, though I don't really love that he likes to compete with Glob and what they did to Job. That was kind of messy. So I would probably still not like love him. He would probably have stuff to answer for. But I'd still put him above Yahweh. You know, there's another like um Imbolc. Imbolc is another god that I would put above Yahweh. Imbolc is actually kind of cool. You should look up Imbolc. Imbolc would probably treat you better.
I actually used to be pagan. I knew a little bit about the deities. I actually studied a little bit about the Egyptian mythology, only a tiny smidgen, nothing really. And I really was used to be Wiccan and whatnot. Just adored the moon, adored the sun. Was like really into the day. I was like really into the night. I enjoyed things. I used the Keys of Solomon. I've studied the Red Dragon, which is the Grand Grimoire. I've studied a lot of black magic in my life, and that's kind of where I remember the spots in my life where one time I actually died because I did an overdose of this stuff and I was brought back to life, but I saw Jesus standing over me. Like I know you're probably gonna think I'm a fool, but
I don't
after
think you're a
all this
fool at all,
spirituality in my
actually.
life, it's actually happened. So I kind of owe my life to him, and that's the only reason why I kind of have to just say, if there's a good reason to like believe in them, it's just pray and ask. I mean, some
Well,
people just have an unbelief, and that's not a very great sin. No one ever said he was going to go to hell for unbelief. A lot of people
well, they
unbelief
did
just
tell
don't
me
keep the
that
Ten
actually.
Commandments.
They did tell
He
me
tells
that.
you to teach,
They
but
told me that
that's what
repeatedly.
to teach the law is.
Yeah,
The
but
Ten Commandments
listen,
are already written on our heart.
I understand like the need to believe in something, and I actually understand what you saw and why you saw it, and I understand why that makes you have a deep connection to that. So before I say anything else, because I can be a little irreverent because of my pain and stuff, I do want to tell you that if at any time like it gets pokey and stingy and you need to help working this shit out, and you've decided that you want help, even if it's just questions or to talk to other people that are going through the same sort of thing, in the YouTube description box there's a link for recovering from religion. So if at any point you need people to talk to, they have real people that are actually professionals. I'm not a professional, I'm just here to have a conversation with you. So I want to say that first. And I've died numerous times. I have a heart condition that I've had since I was 10, and so I've died and been brought back a few times, and I've seen things when I've died. Um, I do understand it now, but that's only because of therapy and psychology and psychiatrists and just being a really nerdy person and understanding like how like the brain synapses and stuff work, because I have trauma stuff. And with trauma stuff, I have had moments in my life and times in my life that I haven't necessarily always been a safe person to be around, or like a safe
You
person
sound
even
like
for
a safe
myself.
person to be around.
And well, I've worked very hard. I've worked very hard at my therapies and things, and like working on believing true things and working through like things that are harmful within myself, or like impulses and things like that. I work really hard at it. And
I just want
I
you to know
work with my
also
brain.
that God would never condone hitting a child. You know that, right?
Yes, he does.
You know He
Yes, he
wouldn't
does.
condone that.
He raped a child. He raped a child.
Jesus raped a child.
Spare the rod, spoil the child is a line out of that book. And yes, Jesus raped a child. Mary was a child. Or God raped a child. Mary was a child. Mary was a
So you
child.
agree that
He
Jesus
raped a
was God,
child.
right?
Well, I mean,
But
Jesus said he was God.
it was immaculate. It was holy. There was no person involved.
No, in her
That's
dream, in her dreams, in the story, in her God came to her in her dreams, and the only way that humans make children is through sexual encounter. So yes, God raped her in
yeah,
her
but that's
dreams.
human. That's human and human. That's
She's a
not
human.
God. The
She's a
divine.
human,
Yeah,
and she was a
but the
child. And
divine
the
can
way you
but the
get
divine can
pregnant,
do it without.
she's a human, she was a child. And the way you get
So
pregnant
have
as a
you?
human being is through semen making contact with an egg.
So I believe there's a law that says
Do
that
you Why do you think
the one
Joseph
who
was the
has
one that raped her? Because that's
the
more likely what
so
happened. That's more likely what
you would have
happened. And then the family told, a different story so that she wouldn't be ruined. Because, if women back in those times, or girls or children, were raped by men, there had to be a story as to why, or they had to marry on the down low before anybody found out she was touched. Otherwise, she was ruined because some man couldn't resist his impulses. So please do not make apologetics for God fucking a child.
I wasn't. I was saying that there's actually a law that says that the man has to pass through the woman and that he was holy. That's what it was saying. That if another man could, it wasn't talking about intercourse. It was talking about the laws that Jesus had to fulfill. Remember, he didn't come to abolish the law. He came to fulfill the law.
Yes, he
So
came to fulfill
you're
the
talking
law.
about
The
laws.
law that says that you
Yeah,
can
and
hold slaves. The law, shush
Where
it,
does
boy,
Jesus do
child,
any of
hush.
that?
The law that's
Where does Jesus do any of that?
the law that says that
That's what
you
I'm
can,
trying to.
I'm
That's
muting
like in
you
my
because
mind.
you're going to be
All right.
disrespectful. I'm muting you. The law that says that you can hold slaves so long as they aren't from your nation, right? The law that says you can release male slaves after 7 years, but a woman slave and all of her offspring stay slaves forever. That law, that's the law he came to fulfill. Is that the law? That's the law we're talking
Oh, you
about, right?
didn't mute me? No,
No,
that's not the
because
law.
you
But
shut up, and I will not mute you if you do not just talk over me. I don't have any reason to mute you then.
asking you shall receive. I didn't mean to.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sorry if I got a little spicy. I got a little upset about abusers doing abuse things, and then people apologizing and doing apologetics for it. And I've got to work on it, and I will work on my temper. But that upsets me because, like, we're talking about this person raping a child, because she would have to go through the trauma of childbirth. Every pregnancy is dangerous and childbirth is traumatic. You could not even, because you don't have the proper nerve dendrites, you could not even survive childbirth. The amount of pain that little child, that little girl, he could have chosen adult. He could have chosen an adult whose body was fully formed and capable of birthing without the added trauma, but he chose a child whose nerves, whose dendrites were not even fully formed, dendrites that have to exist for her to even be able to survive childbirth, dendrites that you do not possess, that would make it so that if you experience the level of pain that we experience at the moment that we push a child out, if you experience that pain, you would die. So don't tell me there's no trauma to it. Don't tell me that he didn't rape a child. Even if he didn't rape her with his spirit dick in the dream, he raped her by the child tearing out of her child body.
So wait. Now, children being born is rape? I'm just trying to get this.
Only when God does it to a child. And only when a rapist does it. Only when a rapist forces and the government forces birth on somebody. Yeah, I would say that's rape. I mean, you're forcing somebody to go through the most extreme pain, a pain that a masked person, a person that like you could not survive, but you want to say that you and the law and your glob have the right to tell me that I have to endure that pain, that my AFAB child has to endure that pain, that 13-year-old baby had to endure that pain without modern medicine that could numb it, that could make it easier. And not only to add insult to injury, she had to do it in a dirty barn.
So you know the story.
But of course, I told you I read the Bible. I told you I wanted it to be true. I wanted to believe in it.
So
what part of that did you not hear? Did you just not listen to me when we first started
the Bible
this?
by saying it wasn't an immaculate thing, or were you saying that it was done by humans? Like, which one are you saying it is? 'Cause you
I am
said
saying
right?
in the dream, he raped her in the dream. She came out pregnant, and then she was forced to deliver a child, which, because she did not consent, because she was a child, she could not consent, is rape, by the way. The forced birth was another form, in my opinion, of that sexual assault. It was just finishing that sexual assault. I don't believe it was true. I mean, I don't believe that Jesus was Christ. And I believe that if somebody did get that 13-year-old girl pregnant, it was most likely Joseph. And I would probably say, yeah, he probably raped her. But we'll work on Jesus was a real person. I can do that. I mean, if he was a guy that lived in that time, I mean, that's fine.
To go with it. It wasn't rape, but I mean, I can't.
Okay, how can a child consent? Explain to me, can a child consent?
It's so situational that you would think that, yeah, it is, but I
can a child consent?
What are we talking about here?
Can a child consent? Can a child consent? Yes, no. Can a child consent?
It wasn't.
Can a child consent?
So are you saying was it intercourse and was it not God?
It doesn't matter. That's not we're not talking about that right now. Can a child consent? That's it. That's where we're at. Can a child consent? We're going to go down to the basics. Can a child consent?
Yes, so no.
No, a child cannot consent. Now, even if back up 1 second. Let me get all the way through the thought thing, and then I will let you ask me, I promise. If a child cannot consent, and God went into the child's dreams and said, I am going to put a child inside of you, even if he didn't like touch her with his spirit fingers, I am going to put a child inside of you. She cannot consent. That is still an act of force. because she cannot consent. Now, because we are humans and we have sex for making babies, especially back then, how did the baby get in there? Okay, so let's say he did magically, though he's never done like magic anything before, but let's say this one time he just goes, poof, baby and Mary, okay? She still has to birth that child. Still has to go through all of the trauma of carrying it, which is very traumatic. Imagine running a 5-mile marathon every day and still having to do your daily stuff. That is pregnancy. Running a 5-mile marathon every day and still having to do the dishes, do the laundry, make the beds, all the things.
I appreciate what women go through for birth.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't, or you would not advocate to force birth upon us. No, you don't. You do not. So just
no, I said that abortion is child sacrifice.
That, and see, you
said.
would force birth upon us because you're saying that. You're telling me you don't respect it because it's not a baby. Because it's not a baby until it's about 24 weeks along, until it becomes a person. And I know when it becomes a person because I carried several. No, then it's not a person. Then why we don't? Do you care about it? Do you care about things that are not people? Do you save spiders? Do you save every spider?
Yeah, I do.
You save every spider? What do you do with them when they're in your house? Do you take them outside?
I let them eat the other bugs because that's a sign of other little tiny insects. Why?
Actually, you're better than me. I have to kill them most of the time.
Well, no, that's a sign of other
there's
insects
all
type
there when we don't give something moral thought, when we don't assign it moral weight, it doesn't have moral weight. And something that is not alive, that is not a person, does not bear the moral weight that the person bears. So the person with the uterus, that is a person. That is a person that has experiences. That is a person that has memories. That is a person that has feelings. That is a person that can die from all kinds of normal pregnancy afflictions. I almost died just from normal pregnancy stuff. Everybody can die from normal pregnancy stuff. It is dangerous. Every time it is life-threatening. And because of you forced birthers and you people that say shit like what you're saying, more and more of us die because they don't care if we survive. They care if you get to control our bodies.
Oh, I didn't say you couldn't do it.
You are with the rhetoric, that rhetoric right there causes the stigma that makes the hardest choice a uterus-bearing person ever has to make, because trust me, it is a hard choice. You make the hard choice worse just with that rhetoric. By talking like that, by thinking like that, by spreading that out in the world, by sitting here and saying that to all of the people on my other platforms, you are doing active harm to uterus-bearing people, their rights, and their survival rates. You make our survival rates go down because you talk like that, because you think like that, because you believe like that. You and that kind of rhetoric are why they get to dictate what happens to my uterus and my child's uterus. And nobody says anything about your balls or your dick. Bullshit. Glob loves child sacrifice. He kills kids all the time. Glob kills kids all the time. He loves sacrifice. He loves blood sacrifice. He kills babies all the time. Glob's like, smash the baby's head on the rocks. You cannot. Don't even.
Do you realize that was actually a lamentation about their own children being dashed by the other?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I mixed up horrible Bible stories. Please forgive me.
Yeah, it wasn't theirs.
Which first children were all supposed to be killed?
Their children.
What about the children of Sodom and Gomorrah? Yes, I did. It's been a long time. I don't care about it so much. What about the children of Sodom and Gomorrah? How were they guilty? How were the infants guilty in Sodom and
Well, I
Gomorrah?
guess if they were innocent, they would have went to heaven. But I don't make the choices God makes. You
Are
want
you
me to say reverse
so
everything?
okay,
Let's
so
start from
wait, let's
scratch.
talk well, heaven is terrifying. Why would you think babies that never got to experience life, well, I guess they would be the perfect fluffy clouds. They've got no experience or anything to be scooped out. God's dang, babies are the only ones that don't have to be scooped out to be fluffy clouds, y'all. Did you know that? I didn't even think about that until right now. I didn't even think about that. Right. Thank you for making me think about that. Why do you want to go to heaven? Why do you want all of the parts of you that care
I never
about
said I
here on
wanted to go
earth?
to heaven. I just believe in God.
Okay, then why? What's the incentive? Why do you believe in him? Why should I believe in him? What is real about him?
Because the angels all around us talk and they speak, and there's angels like they're jotting down, they monitor earth and heaven, and they take care of our emotions, they take care of our feelings, they give the God gives us life, and I just know these things from fasting and praying for a long time. But I don't know how else to say it. Like I like I said, I used to dabble into some really dark arts, so I've seen things that
So,
probably other people would be kind of freaked out about unless they were into that kind of stuff.
so is it
It's actually
from?
kind of cool,
But I've
huh?
looked at a lot of different religions. All kinds of these old beliefs and stuff are
Yeah, but the
amazing. And I like
spirituality is one
believe
and the
that
same.
I
People would agree
believe
with
that
that.
I believe that we are sort of nature experiencing herself. We are the only aspects
You
of
said you were
nature
pagan,
that
right? That you like
no,
Loki and like stuff
I'm
like that.
atheist. I'm atheist. I will just put
But
mini
you like
gods
Loki, right?
before I will put mini gods before Yahweh. I think many of them are cool. Bridget is amazing. Bridget is a really cool one. I think many of them are cool. Illyria is probably one of my favorites, and she's like more of a dark demon goddess. But no, I like many of them. I like dark fantasy stuff. I'm very interested in it. I love all of that stuff, and like just on a different level than you, I
You
think.
know those people are real, right?
I like the fantasy of it, and I like to
Yeah, but
understand
it's not
how
a
our
fantasy. Those are real
ancestors.
people. That's why
Let
you
me
get the
finish.
feeling.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I like well, I believe that we pass down genetic memory, but that's another topic. I believe that we are sort of the only aspect of nature that gets to have a sentient experience. And so I learned this phrasing from somebody else, and I've been using it, nature experiencing herself. So we are kind of special in that we get to do that. We get to have a certain number of brain cells, and when they start doing certain things at a certain number, we gain sentience. We don't necessarily understand exactly why that happens yet, but we know the mechanics that have to go into it. We know that if somebody hits you on the head, it can completely change you. We know that certain drugs can completely make you a different person and affect that process, and that's why I don't believe in the soul or like this innate thing that is you. um I do believe that we are cool as hell. Like our brains are capable of like some really wicked stuff, and stuff that that probably like seems like magic, and I think that that is the coolest, one of the coolest things about us. And I think that in our youth as as scientists, like, because we're a scientific social species, we're a species that loves to learn about the shit around us. We're just kind of nerdy species, and so we're a scientific social species. And in our young scientist state, you know, we were taking in information and trying to parse it out and figure it out. And so, like, here's a new analogy I came up with the other day. So, like, my cat thinks that I am amazing. She thinks that I am capable of things that I wish I was capable of. My cat thinks I can change the weather. She thinks that I can control the temperature outside, inside. She thinks I can turn the wind up and down. And that's
And
because
that's the analogy for God.
I adjust her environment when she tells me she has a need. I adjust her environment. And so to my cat, I'm God. I do it all. Now to our young scientist selves, we didn't know who was doing all of these
Did you
things,
know a
how
lot of
all of these
scientists actually believe in
processes are
God?
happening. We didn't understand all of these things. We didn't understand all of these processes were happening. And so we assigned that to a mythical figure, and in some cases multiple mythical figures. The sun itself was once considered a god. The moon herself was once considered a god. Us in our evolution as social scientists have assigned these properties to multiple aspects of nature and of the universe, as well as imaginary beings. It's one of the cool things about us is that we are able to imagine things and bring them forth to be sort of a reality for us. And we are able to convince ourselves of all kinds of things. We are really special in our brains and how they work. And when something is taught to us when we're young enough, and if it's told to us often enough, we take on the voice of that inside of ourselves, and we believe us when we say something over and over and over again. And so all of those people that told us these things are real and these things that we should believe in, and this will happen if you don't, internalized, and we started telling ourselves those things, and we believe us. And so some of us, like me, were never able to grasp that voice in a way that it stuck. So I never told myself those things because nobody ever told me those things in a way that I internalized. However,
Well,
that is how we
I'm
work as a
sorry, very
species.
sorry,
There
but I
were
have to
other
go.
things. Well, thanks for calling in.
I didn't want to be rude. I was just
You're good.
listening. I have to go help my friend with something. If it was all right, I call back next time. Like,
Certainly.
you have one of these, and then
Yes. Most certainly. Thank you for calling in and having the conversation and being polite. That was awesome. That was really good. Thank you so much. Have a good
cool.
day.
But can I just tell you that, like, I'm not trying to get a little jab in here. In fact, you can say whatever you want after, but
I
spirits
will.
actually do exist outside of us. Like, I know it's hard to believe, but they do. The angels monitor us, and they're all around us, and they help us.
That creeps me out immensely. That just creeps me out.
They
That's
protect
just
us
creepy. That's
because this
terrifying.
is a dark world.
That's
So I'll
terrifying
let
and
you say what
creepy.
you have to say.
I'm just saying that's terrifying and creepy. But we can talk about it next time, and maybe you can tell me why I shouldn't be terrified, and maybe you can give me some proof or something. But thank you for being polite
Okay,
and
yeah.
having a real conversation. I do appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Have a
I'll
good
talk to you
day.
next time.
All
Thank
right,
you.
have a good night. Hey, that actually went really well. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Very polite, and even if we don't agree, that's fine. We have to learn to have hard conversations and get all the way through the hard conversation. I think that was excellent. I am very happy with that. Yes, they weren't given a choice, Dragonly, and I think that is the aspect that allows me to maintain that balance is because I know they weren't given a choice because they literally tried to beat it into me. And so I don't like I want to make sure that like I call them out on like the abusive things because the abusive things are well, they're abusive, and I need to make sure that I maintain a balance and that I show care as well because they didn't get these beliefs by themselves. People sometimes abused them to make them believe. Sometimes they just said it over and over. Sometimes they forced it down their throats. I mean, there's many reasons and many ways. And you don't get to choose what you believe. I mean, you can be convinced of something and convinced that something else is true later, like of when you receive new facts, but you don't really get to choose what you believe. You believe what you're convinced of. I don't even want Santa's elves checking on me twice a day. That's creepy too. Like he sees you when you're sleeping. That's creepy. I don't need him watching me. He knows when you're awake. Why is he only watching me sleep? That's creepy too. And I like Santa. I mean, I could. That might not be a bad idea. I did that the other day though, but I guess yeah, I guess I have to work on it. I have to work on it. I am new at this, so I will have to develop like a rhythm and stuff. Mostly I think that having a hard conversation and like just normalizing being able to have hard conversations, I think that is a big deal. Like because we aren't good at that. This society doesn't teach us to do that. It teaches us to run from each other. It teaches us to hide from each other. It teaches us to treat each other like we're always a threat. And that keeps us from being able to have these hard conversations that allow us to unpack problems and resolve them. And, you know, Like it's okay for your passions to have their say, and so long as you can bring it back around. And I think that that caller showed that they actually care about people. Like I think that they showed that they actually care about people, and like their beliefs are pretty internal and personal, and I wish them the best with them. I do like I am glad that they aren't like devoting their life to something that's going to steal life from them. I mean, he said he didn't necessarily want to go to heaven, so. Are they? I thought there was some sort of relative to the jinn. I would love to like learn that story. If you ever just want to call in and like talk about that, because I also think that learning about like other religions and stuff, and like having open conversations and learning about like the truth of the different ones, it kind of showcases and shows how there are so many, and how maybe our young scientist selves like attached to different things in different regions for different reasons. And when you only know one religion, like when you're raised Christian and you only know Christianity and you know only know the inner workings of it, you can't parse it out from these other religions. You just kind of automatically think they're false. But like maybe if you hear some of the inner workings and some of the differences and like the similarities and how that happens, I think that sometimes that can help people internalize more truth, or at least broaden their internal schema a little bit, so that they can open their minds to other 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 people's cultures and stuff being acceptable, rather than just needing to quash all of it. It's one of my biggest problems with Christianity is it seeks to quash all other cultures. It seeks to overtake and colonize everything it touches. Oh, you don't have to believe in it to tell us about it. The person that told us out about Mormonism is not a Mormon anymore. They used to be, but they're not anymore. I find it interesting, even though I'm not a believer, and I find some of the faiths incredibly problematic. And I find any faith and any religion that tells you that like people that the people around you aren't people, or tries to like otherize people, is way on the top of the list worse. And religions that tell you that certain heinous acts are okay, that dehumanize like half of your species, I think they're awful. I also find all of it incredibly interesting because I find us as a species interesting. I find the way that our brains work interesting, and like the way that our ancestors parsed out things in their young scientist evolution is kind of cool to learn about. And so I that's the way that I kind of take religions and things now, is I take what I can learn about like what our ancestors thought and what they engaged with and how they were experiencing the universe and nature around them. Neil deGrasse Tyson is amazing. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's definitely helped validate me my whole life, and I am so grateful that he exists, because like it I was raised partly in Wyoming and partly in the Bible Belt, and like it's rough being raised in like those kinds of conservative places. And like yeah, it's rough. It's and thank mercy for Neil deGrasse Tyson validating my atheism from the time I was a child. That's true. That's true. I'm also like, I'm so new to it. I haven't developed a rhythm yet, and I will. I will develop a rhythm. I just get nervous and I have panic disorder, and I just have to get through that. I just have to normalize it. It just has to be part of my thing. It'll be fine. Mostly, I just want to normalize having hard conversations and like being accountable to each other in a conversation and stuff. And I think that was done well. I think that can be done well. It does. That actually is an excellent point. A lot of them don't know that the newer Bibles are written in the Roman Catholic. Yeah. Fair. Oh my goodness, gravy, I lost. Holy. Hello, hello. The bearded IT guy, am I following you? And let me check. Let me make sure. Why is my bot not yelling? Hello. Well, let me follow you. Goodness gravy. Welcome in. Welcome in. Any friend of Maddie's is a friend we want to know. Welcome in. Hello, Maddie. Good to see you. I have followed you, bearded. Everybody follow the bearded IT. I see that. You have lots of swords. You help lots of people. We love that. You are very much one of our mod love sort of people on the Twitches. We love it. We love it. It's great of you. Thank you for being such good help. Oh, wow. Every now and again we need it. We need help. Right now, my biggest issue is my OBS settings that I keep forgetting to look up. It ends up dropping my recording because of some encryption problem that I need to fix, and I have not. Oh, well, that's awesome. I love new friends that are also close. That's also good. Dog was over earlier. We're lucky. We have a few of them that we get to be friends with. Did you like that cheesecake thingy? Really, the story of Abraham that mentions him almost sacrificing his son for God gets them every time. You know, maybe that's the one I should use. The other one that I find like Job, like Glob and Satan having a contest, like a bet over whether or not Job would turn against God, and like killing all of his children, all of his freaking goats, all like everybody but his wife, and then being like, but I'll give you new ones. Like, that's wild. That one is like, how can you not see the evil through that though? Oh, next state over. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. It was something I came up with and on the fly. Oh, that's awesome, Little Dragon Link. I have clipped on the YouTube description the link for recovering from religion, because I think that it is hard to unpack all of this stuff, especially when it is like inserted into you so young. And when you start to come through it, it can be really painful for believers and stuff. Like, this is like core belief stuff sometimes will affect identity stuff, and you need help to pull out the threads that are part of who you are, so that you're not like wrestling with pain or in cycles of pain. And I'm so glad that like recoveringfromreligion.org does exist. I'm so glad that they're out there doing that work, because a lot of people, when they come face to face with the harms that religion does, or with the fact that they aren't believing anymore, a lot of the times they will self-abuse trying to believe again. Because like I said before, you don't get to choose what you're convinced of. You believe what you're convinced of. Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes years. It can take a lot of work, and it's hard work, but you're worth the work. You're worth doing the things that are going to make your experience the best you can have. I mean, you're the only, I mean, your experience is the only one like yours. And these religions would have you believe that this life here on earth doesn't matter, that the only life that matters is the one that you have with Glob when he scoops you out and makes you a fluffy cloud, because he has to scoop out the you to make you non-confrontational in heaven. You can't stay you and go to heaven. He has to scoop out all the parts of you he doesn't like first, so that you can be a fluffy cloud. You can't have any parts that will be sad and miss your kids if they went to hell. You can't have any parts of you that would be sad if your mommy went to hell. You can't have those parts. Those parts have to be scooped out. Thank you, Kat. That's a good idea. Once he went to that one place, I knew to just ask that question, like, and then in the chat to ask the one, because I'm really curious, like, if these people believe, like, honestly, with their whole chest, that Adam and Eve broke the crime of a lifetime and that humans should be punished forever because of that apple, even though they had no way of consenting, no way of knowing good or bad, no way of knowing it was actually bad to eat it, even though they had no understanding of that. And they believe that every human has to be punished because of that, because of disobedience. Then I want to know where the land back and reparations are. Because the argument I hear most fucking white people make against land back and reparations, it was so long ago. I mean, it wasn't me, it was an ancestor. It wasn't, I shouldn't have to pay the crime to my ancestor. Well, then why do we all gotta pay for somebody eating a fucking apple? Asking for a friend. Thank you, Kat. That's a good idea as well. I should be writing notes. I need to get a notebook. I made a book yesterday at the library. It's gonna be my bad call notebook, but I think that I should be writing myself tips. I really should, because y'all are amazing. Y'all are the best. I've got to have my book. I can make these all the time now. Make my own books. I learned. Go to your library. It is your free third space. They took third spaces away from us for free so that they could minimize us into churches and control situations. Churches are high control situations. They want to puppet you for the million billionaires so that you will always be thinking that you are less than, so that you will always be willing to hurt yourself to keep this system systeming. Remember that. I'm going to write myself a couple of these tips. I will get better at this. I'm learning. Thank you for helping me. Y'all are the best. Definitions, questions, got that. Anton Petrov does good stuff on YouTube. Right? It is so weird how much we can know about like things in other parts of the universe. It's so wild. It's so cool how much we can figure out about the universe and stuff, and like even about our own brains. Like the way we think and the way we work is so cool. Just like I know why you see things when you die. Like, and it's so cool. It's the coolest thing ever. I'm so grateful for the flood of chemicals that happen when we have like extreme trauma like that. They're so good. Thank y'all so much. Yes, I do. I do, dog. That's a good point. That's a good point. Welcome in, Alcomo. Welcome in, welcome in. We had some fun nerdery. We are on our call-in session. Twitch, for me, is a safe space. You have found my Twitch space. Not everybody gets invited here, so do know this is a safe space for trans and queer people, especially also people with mental health issues. So please respect their space. All of my other two spaces are entirely open. I have a YouTube and a Kick, and anybody is welcome in those spaces. You found the Kick space. Yes, you did, Blind Watchmaker. That one I actually advertised. I advertise and I allow the Kick space and the YouTube space for us to practice having hard conversations and getting along through, difficulties and stuff. And learning and, finding safe accountability. My Twitch space is just it is a very safe space for the trans people and the mental health community that needs it. Awesome. Same. I love learning new things. I love learning and I love I don't know, I love learning about different things. I'm ultimately a nerd. It's why Sundays before we do the call-in show, we do some sort of nerdery. Today it was sea slugs and EV cars. The sea slugs are cool. There is a sea slug that looks like a sheep, y'all. It looks like a little tiny sheep. It is the cutest thing. It's like a chia sheep. I need I need pictures of that little sucker all over the place. It's so cute. That's awesome, little dragon lady. That's awesome. Hi, Evie. It's so good to see you, love. I'm so glad you came in. Thank you for being here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to paint and stuff. I like to do a lot of whimsical stuff. Every now and again, I'll do like a real um in-depth oil painting or something. Like I've done portrait and stuff. But I really enjoy just stuff that evokes a feeling and stuff. Some of my stuff is at the store. Like there's a place that they allow local artists to sell their art, and so some of my stuff. Oh, thank you. It because I started doing anti-patriarchy, anti-misogyny content, and I figured that not only does it lend a layer of protection because my offspring looks a lot like me, it also makes the point. This is the 50s comic book filter. If you get the joke, you get the joke. Yes, dog, for real though. Make education great again. I mean, don't you wish that was their slogan though? Oh no, you can talk about everyday normal things. It's just that it's safe space. So if you prove to be turfy or unsafe for them, I will boot you to the other spaces. I will kick you out. That's what it is. So if you find yourself in my Twitch space, it if you act cool and they like you and you're cool to them and you don't like poke at any of them or make them feel like less than human, then they'll probably like let you stay around. And they're very intelligent people. There are so many nerds in my Twitch space. They're so intelligent, but like I am very protective of them. So that's all it is. The other two spaces are completely open. I mean, but so long as you're respectful to people, you shouldn't have an issue. I just feel like when new people come into the Twitch, I just have to let them know, so I'm not setting you up to fail. I want to set you up to succeed. Yeah, me too, Dragonly. Like when I first start to find something interesting, it really does make me want to dig in and go deeper. And that is the way to be. Treating people as people. That is the way to be. If we people the people, we're all winning. And here's the bonus thing. If you people yourself, if you person yourself, if you treat yourself well, if you tell yourself good things about you just selfishly, just learn to treat yourself well, just selfishly, you will accidentally, by proxy, just treat other people better. Just because you treat you well. That's kind of the magic of our brains. Like our brains, well, and that's a good point too. Thank you for saying that, dog. Our brains are amazing and we believe us. So what we put in, we kind of spew out. So if we're putting in self-care and we're putting in good things, we kind of spew out care and good things. I kind of agree with that. Blind watchmaker. It kind of can be. It's okay, Alcomo. Thank you for acknowledging. I found it at the thrift store. It is very cute. It is very cute. Thank you. It's comfortable and cool, and it was like 90 degrees and I couldn't handle the 90 degrees. So I had to put on my little shorts outfit so that I could handle the temperature. Yes, can relate, Fricative. I am both, and I am normal. Also, I belong to one of the most awesome um, trans groups of creators over here. Oh, come on, give me the other half of the command. All right, this is frustrating me, bot. I may have to do something about our command because we have so many members of Transcend now that the command does not want to throw properly the second half of it. And it's really frustrating me. I'm going to have to figure that out because Little Dragon Lee is on Transcend. That's okay. I will grab it from here. No, that's the old one. What the hell? Why is it throwing the old one? Hang on. It's throwing the old language. You are normal too. You are definitely normal too. Oh, that's why. Okay, hang on. I think I figured it out. I think I figured out what I did wrong on this command. I am working on bots for Kick and well, I have a bot on Kick. I have the Botrix. But I'm working on a bot on YouTube. Well, not really. I need to work on a bot on YouTube. I'm aware that I need to do it. I just haven't done it. Twitch has. I am gender fluid, so yes, I am on the trans spectrum. What was I putting this? Oh, TC. I think I've just figured out to fix the command for us. Ha! I did it. Let's go. I fixed it finally. I have an aesthetic for the show, and so it is harder to pick up. Sometimes, though, when I don't have YouTube as part of it, you'll see like my real face and stuff. My offspring just looks a lot like me, and so when I do all three platforms and stuff, I'll often put a veil of protection for them. And also, if I piss men off, they don't necessarily need to know what I look like, and they won't know my face without this. There's a psychological thing that happens, especially when you're like upset and contentious. So if I'm doing this anti-patriarchy content and men get all contentious, they'll look for this. They won't look for me. And so it's just an extra barrier against their need to lash out. That's fair. Little Dragonly, I have had to manage what I listen to on that front. What I do usually is I just usually pull up ground news and I get the information I need to know what's going on, but I try not to listen to too much of it because I'm listening to all of this like mask, red pill, patriarchy content all the time so that I can like be informed on what men are actually saying. That the added, like if I listen to the added political stuff that I listened to before I started doing this work full time, it would send me over the edge. They weren't feeling attacked. Alcomo, this is a safe space, and the word normal in that sentence means that it wasn't normal for to talk about trans things. And because Dog understands the space that he's in and the people that he's around, and he cares about this space and these people, he wanted to make sure that you understand that that's entirely normal. And I appreciate you, Dog, for answering for yourself as well. It's because we talk about true things here, and we make sure that, and some of us are autistic also, and so sometimes we get caught up on details, and we make sure that we tell all of the details that matter. Especially those of us that are autistic, we get a little caught up on the details sometimes. I know I do. Sometimes the details can be fun though, like getting caught up in them. Some details can be. Yay, little dragonly, me too! Woohoo! Go autistic, gay, and gender fluid. Let's go. I agree with that, Maddie. That's well said. We do love explaining things and looking things up, and I appreciate you recognizing that, blind watcher. Sometimes there have to be guardrails. I've just like I have been a Twitch streamer for 6 years, and like the first year I wasn't like monetized or anything, and after about a year I got monetized, and so my streamiversary is in July. But like the core Twitch group, they were with me when I was just doing sculpting and culture, because I'm Native American, and so I would talk about my language and my culture and things. And so the core Twitch people, many of them have been with me since then. And some of them I've spent time in like fleshland with. Like there's a few of them that I actually spend time in fleshland with, and they're very important to me. They're the reason why I can do this work. They're the reason why I feel confident that I can do this now, and that I've been able to do like the work that I've been doing for the last 6 months. It's because of them. They help, like they help bring me back around. Like when I need to own my shit and I fuck up, they're who call me out. They're who make me face my principles and come to the mirror and like be honest with myself. Uh, they're awesome. I'm so glad. I am confident. I am confident. Like um, I spend a lot of time gaining the information and the knowledge I need. And I'm also fully willing to admit when I'm wrong or I don't know something. And I think I want to normalize us being able to have hard conversations, because that's one of the things that we bow out of a lot of the time. Because hard conversations are hard, and like there's an anxiety to it. And when we learn to be able to sit in that discomfort and get all the way through, we learn things about ourselves, we learn things about other people, we learn things about our species, and it improves our ability to navigate every other hard situation we get in after that. Every time we can handle and make ourselves get through sitting in discomfort, we empower ourselves for the next time we're forced to sit in discomfort. Yes, exactly, Kat. it's it's just a blanket of protection for my kid. And, for me, because men can be kind of violent, and a lot of the content that I do, I mean, when we're not just on Sundays, a lot of the content that I do is about the patriarchy and the homosociality of mask socialization, and how that leads men to harm themselves and others and keep themselves from having actual real connections, and how to help them breach that divide and build bridges so that they can have real connections, and so we as a species can survive. And so oftentimes I find myself pissing men off with the truth. Many men are trying their best. Unfortunately, if you look at the top of my screen, it's only like 4.5% of you. that are succeeding at it. And so we were 4.9%. So we got to get those numbers up. I mean, there's another 4.9% of you that are trying real hard, and I'm going to give like the 9% their due. And I will never say the NAM thing. If you need that, you have to give that to you. I can't give that to you because 95.1% of you, it may as well be all of you. However, I will help you change that for yourselves. I will tell you what I see honestly, and I will give you space to unpack that, talk about it honestly, and talk about the real harms and things that homosocial network does. I will help you talk through it, and I'll give you space to do that. Nobody should, Alcomo, and that's kind of the point of today's show. I, if so long as you're living as an entity that's treating yourself well, you will by accident treat others well. And so that's a good thing. And if you can swim in pansocial waters and like listen to multiple voices, regardless of gender, socioeconomic class, or whatever, then you're winning. You're able to have a more open mental schema. And so when new things come across your path, it's going to be a lot easier for you to accept them and adjust yourself accordingly. And that can be like a fucking superpower. I want everybody to have sort of that. I've had to work really hard at like, learning that just like being autistic doesn't make me like mess up or anything. Like I'm a person and it's okay. Like, but also learning to work with my brain instead of against my brain, and navigating trauma instead of like pulling it in and making it who I am, navigating through it and letting it be this thing that hurt, this thing that had impacts or whatever. That helps as well. So like a lot of my stuff is dialectics. I have complaints about my personality too. I mean, not everybody's gonna be likable to every person. And we all have quirks and differences. It's kind of what makes our species so cool is our diversity, but we're not all like each other's flavor. Well, I am so sorry that you have that trauma, and I hope that when you self-medicate that you do so responsibly and that you're incredibly kind and empathetic to yourself. The one of the I think that one of the dangers is like we get into those trauma cycles and we tend to beat ourselves with the whips that others gave us, and I hope that you don't do that, and I hope you're able to get through your pain and that your tools work for you. I've had a lot of those kinds of threats as well, Dragonly. That sucks. I'm so sorry that they tell you that for that. And see, that's like grabbing your man card and waving it around. It's absurd. Oh, I didn't worry. I'm not really. Your functionality isn't an aspect like that I care about for capitalism. I care about how you treat you. I care about it for you and how you treat you. Capitalism is a scourge, most especially this type of capitalism that we're under now. You're what matters. Thank you. I know that's so weird, Fricative Moth. It's so weird. It's why I won't even have that discussion with them. I won't even have that discussion. They don't actually understand the topic. And like that's how they say you have to be this tall to ride this ride. You have to have this much um scientific information to have this conversation. You have to have this much scientific understanding of the topic to have this conversation. Because, like, I don't know, like, because I would actually, like, if they want to go into biologically, like, we can discuss that, and, but they don't understand cluster categories, and they don't understand that when you change enough aspects of a cluster category, you change the category to which the cluster belongs. And so, if they can't understand that, then they can't even understand like how you can actually change not just gender, but sex as well. So if they don't understand cluster categories, we can't have the conversation. Exactly, Maddie. I love you. This is why we're friends, Maddie. This is why we're friends. Oh, you shouldn't subscribe to every thought. You should look up everything. If I say anything that even makes you like remotely question something, you should look it up. You should test it. You should look it up. I'm not even playing. You should. You should normalize thinking through every idea that somebody presents to you and like looking things up, especially if it tweaks your interest the least bit. Definitely question everything. Don't just take everything in. Take the good stuff, toss the bad. Oh, I know, Alcoma, that's real. Yep. Well said, dog. Anything that changes your perspective should definitely be checked. And you should be like working on having an open internal schema so that you're willing to take in new information and adjust according to new facts. I mean, we're an evolving species, and so things are going to change for us. I think one of the most damaging aspects of a lot of these faiths and our conservative alts, I don't know what to call them today. I'm trying not to say mean things, but anyway, the conservative shit ass side is they want to go backwards. They want to like stay in the past or stay in like in this one place. And here's the thing, like if I keep this plant, this lovely, lovely plant in this pot too long, her roots are gonna lock. Her roots are gonna lock in there and she gonna start dying. We are kind of like the roots of that plant. If we don't have room to stretch our little tendrils of brain, our little brain roots out, if we don't have a way to stretch them out, like the ends of them start dying, we start losing stuff. Every time we open ourselves up, we gain. And when we close ourselves off, we lose. Think of it that way. But if you can get stuck in a comfort zone and you can rot in that comfort zone. And I do mean rot. I look at the way that like the old man on the necessary conversation is. He is miserable and hateful and he is rotting. He is going to die just miserable and hateful. You don't want that. Don't do that to yourself. Yes, most definitely. A false idea of the past is how you stall progress. And like if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. But if you don't teach your history or you teach a false version of it, you intend to repeat the worst aspects of it. That's the other part of the quote that a lot of people don't like say. You're doing great, Alcomo. Thank you so much for joining the conversation and like just joining the conversation so fully. You're doing amazing. We appreciate having you here. We love having nerdy, full conversations here, and you're amazing. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, more color, stash, class, style, flavor, taste. Oh yeah. You know what my mantra is, the thing that got me through like the worst aspects of my mental health before I found the best therapies and stuff. It's it's this quote that I got out of the movie Sucker Punch. For those who must fight for it, life holds a flavor the sheltered will never know. You know the flavor of life, Dragon Lee. Oh yes, exactly, Kat. That's why they've declared people like me Terrorists. If, well, Evie, if you're telling yourself like the awful things that people told you, then you are lying to yourself, and that will cause you to hurt more, and it will cause you to feel like that. And I'm hoping like that you can get community either through the internet, the way that I usually see you do it, or maybe find your way to a library or something. But you need community, and don't tell yourself those awful things that those people told you. And remember, do that thing I'm always telling you to do. If you start to hear yourself saying those things, make yourself say two good things, or come find me and I'll tell you two good things. You know how to find me. If I'm near the computer, I'll tell you two good things. Yeah, they couldn't post about any of it. It's kind of cool that we have so much ability to share information with each other. It enables us to have so much more power to change things and change the things that we don't like about society or that we're afraid of about society. Our ability to stay in contact and communicate with each other is really cool. It's kind of like a superpower that enables us to have all problem solving at our fingies if we could just come together. Ah, thank you so much, Blind Watchmaker. I appreciate you. It took me a long time to like find that and be able to like be fully that and feel comfortable and confident in that, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Therapy for the win. If you need a therapist, you should find one. If it is about unpacking religion and you need to make sure that you get the right one, Recovering from Religion has you covered. They can get you in contact with the right therapist that can actually help you unpack this stuff. And I have their link in the YouTube, but I should probably have it up here as well. I did not think of that, giving it to y'all as well. I'm so sorry. Let me get it for y'all. They're really good. They can like tell you where counselors are in your area. They do have some on staff. They try to run a 24-hour helpline, so if anybody is in need or knows somebody that is in need of that kind of help, it can be very painful to undo those threads in that tapestry, and you don't have to do it by yourself. You should not feel like you have to do it by yourself. It is not weak to ask for help. It is actually strong. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so fucking hard. Y'all are so great. This is why I love my purple team. Y'all are fucking beautiful. Oh yeah, we're a very happy household. This is how I am. Like we're very happy people. You can ask my partner and my kid. Yeah, you can ask Dog over here in purple team. Dog knows me in real life. This is how I am. This is me. It was hard, like learning to mask off and just be myself and like be able to be fully happy, fully elated, all of those things. Oh, I have dogs. I have two dogs, two cats, and then I also have offspring and a partner. I have a wife and a child in this house as well. Well, I mean, it's an adult child, so I think offspring's probably the better term. Dogs and nieces and nephews. Hey, that's still a lot. We used to house our nibblings as well, with my sister before she passed, and now they live with their dad. But yeah, housing nibblings, that can be a lot. Nibblings are still children, and they're there where you want them or not. That's fair though. I, I'm I am very fond of having nibblings around. I haven't seen them in a minute, but nibblings can be a lot of fun. Kids are so fun to see, like when they figure something out, that like light bulb expression when they've learned something new. That is my favorite thing about kids, hands down. White, well, I mean, what are you watching with them that she's gonna ask questions? My parents watched the worst shit with me. My favorite movie when I was 5 was, well, I was 6, but anyway, Firestarter was my favorite movie. Well, I had two favorite movies, Firestarter and Poltergeist when I was 6. This is what was wrong with boomers. My favorite movies at 6 were Firestarter and fucking Poltergeist. Oh, that's great. Blind Watchmaker. Alien, though? Why are you giving them childbirth horror before they're even, like, pubescent? Alien is about childbirth horror, by the way. Alien is childbirth horror. I am, oh, they're 12? Yeah, definitely make them afraid of childbirth now. Good job. Good job. Good job. Make them terrified now. By the way, you'll never see Alien the same again. Now you know what it's actually about. It's about pregnancy. And one had questions. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of questions after Alien, but I was pretty horrified by it. And then when I found out, like, when I found out about, like, it being a childbirth allegory, I was like, oh, everything makes sense now. But I learned that after I had experienced childbirth. Yes, it is way too young to know about Poltergeist, Evie. It was, and still, it was my favorite movie, okay? And then, like, she and I, the little girl in that, and Drew Barrymore and I are about the same age. I think they're a year older than me. And so, like, she was, like, 13 when she died. That was fucking traumatic for me as a teenager, as a young teenager, and her, like, dying, and, like, it was, like, I don't know, there's this weird parasocial thing that happened, like, in my brain because I was so young. And yeah, I had a big connection with her, and when she died at like 13, it was horrifying. You'll show them true cinema. Sounds like you're a shit ass. You're getting up to the shenanigans. Aw, you're awesome, Dragon Lee. That is true, dog. That is true. Very true. Legally Blonde and smoothies. Legally Blonde is fun. That's a fun one, though. I actually like that one. All right, I'm going to give y'all a brief musical moment. I'm going to refresh my coffee real quick, and I'll be right back. We have 10 more minutes with you, YouTube, or 15. If you want to call in these next 15 minutes, YouTube, you have 15 more. Well, 17 more minutes, YouTube. You got 17 minutes to call the number on the screen. But you got to give me a minute to go fill my coffee. Now, if you don't want to talk to me today, that's okay. That's okay. We will boot you off, and we will go have musical moments and all of that. Though, if you want to join the musical moments, I will give you access to the green team. The green team is available for you to come, YouTube, if you would like to enjoy our musical list. I'm not even gonna lie to you, we have the best playlists on all of the platforms. All of them. We have the best lists. All right. Link has been given. I will return momentarily. I'm going to give you some DMCA free music for the moment. And then as soon as we kick red team out, I will give y'all real music. All right. I'll be right back, y'all. Thank you for your patience. I have returned. You know, this is actually not too bad for DMCA free music. I'm not mad at this music. Some of it was taking me a while to get accustomed to, but this is not too bad. None, Okomo. We are the worst. America is the worst. We imperialize, we colonize, and we're trying to do some more colonization shit. We are the worst. You will not find anyone in this chat that's like, we live there. That doesn't happen here. Everybody here agrees with you. America's the worst. We cause all the problems. We go over to places and we go poke, 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 and then somebody shoots at us and then we shoot them in the face because, you know, that's how we solve our problems. We're American. We love guns. We're wild. We're wild over here in America. I think America used to have huge potential, Blind, but we are at 250 years and we turned hyper-imperialist and colonizer, and that is the doom spiral for any imperialist nation. 250 years. We've reached it. We're done. I am also Native American, and so you're not going to get much love for the United Snakes from me. They're still genociding my people. They're not, actually. I feel like MAGA killed them, Blind Watchmaker. MAGA killed the idealism. They drown it. They drown it in their desire to go back to redlining and Jim Crow, and yes, but their movement has the most powerful seat in the world. Their movement created Project 2025, and their movement is 53% of the way through that project. So whether or not it's 30% of the country or 20% of old people, because of the levers of power taking it up and our feckless, worthless ass alternative party, the Democrats, sitting with their tails between their legs and not stopping any of the blatant shitler fascism that is taking place, we're screwed. We're screwed. We have choices as the people that have to survive this shit. We can build scaffolding down here to hold one another up when everything collapses. And we can stand up to the patriarchal fuckbags that keep putting their hands up our asses and going meep, 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 meep out of our mouths and controlling us like we are puppets. We can stand up to them, tell them no more, by the bare minimum, only what we need. So long as we are consuming and consuming and consuming, they are winning. There are things that we just have to do down here to build scaffolding to help us survive. But no, they're going to, oh my gosh, oh honey, I'm 50, but thank you. I'm 48, actually. I'll be 49 this year in July. But thank you. Yeah, I know. I look good even without the filter. I'll take the filter off when I get rid of YouTube and I'll show you for real. Oh gosh, I lost what I was saying. You scrolled me telling me I look 32. My goodness gravy. Yes, we did. We did. Alcomo, you are correct. Oh, I know you didn't squirrel me on purpose. My brain just does that sometimes. Oh goodness, don't get mad at me, YouTube. I forgot to put the bear on my face. Don't get mad at me. I'm in a legal state. Please don't get mad at me. I just have arthritis, YouTube. I'm all caught up in chat now. I was reading from like that evil Bible thing earlier between calls, and then I got all caught up with y'all because y'all are so fun to talk to. I am very chat inclusive. It was very hard for me not to like look at chat while I was on the call. I'm so glad we got to like have a conversation where we still don't agree with each other, but we were polite and he wants to call back. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. I feel like I won something with that. That's awesome. And then with Cam telling me like, hey, help him sometimes, like y'all are making me feel all smishy. Exactly that, Dragon Lee. That is so true. America is like that drunk, sexist, misogynistic, bigoted, racist, xenophobic uncle who swears he can dance but ends up tripping and shattering the glass patio door. I try to be reasonable. It it is not always easy. I've had to have a lot of therapy to become a reasonable person. In Texas, oh, that would be so hard. I could not survive Texas. But I'm from Wyoming. And though I'm well practiced as well. I was born and raised in Wyoming, and then I grew up for about 6 years in Virginia in the dirty South. That's where I went to the church school that I got kicked out of, was in Virginia. Oh yes, Alcomo, you will very much enjoy talking to the people in this chat, and Dog is incredibly, incredibly informed. Very informed. You know what? I'm going to give you, blind watchmaker, I'm going to give you access. I'm going to invite you. The only way you can get to know where the Twitch is if somebody from the Twitch tells you. Because I have deliberately spelled it wrong. There you go. If you would like. Purple Team is always my favorite. They have the best toys in there. They have the bot that does all the things. That, and they have the access to the... They have access to... Well, they have access to everything, usually. Many of them have been with me for like 5 years, though. Twitch can be twitchy. This is true, Crystal. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, YouTube, you are beautiful, but I am turning the call line off because, well, you didn't call, and that's okay. We had one of you call, and it was beautiful, and I appreciated it. It was a really good call. I do appreciate you, Fox. That was a good call. If you end up hearing this, thank you very much. It was a good call. I like being able to have hard conversations and get through them, and still be personable, and that was really well done, and I appreciate you for it very, very much. YouTube, go forth doing that thing you do. That thing where every time you think or say a bad thing about you, you say 2 good things about you, and you try very hard not to repeat the same 2 things in a 24-hour period. That thing. When you treat you well and you treat you with compassion and empathy, you by proxy just accidentally treat other people well. So go forth treating yourself well for very selfish reasons and do that thing you do. I will see you, unless I decide to do a special thing tomorrow because of the holiday, which I have not quite decided yet. Unless of that, I will see you Thursday for the next call-in show. Thank you for being here, YouTube. You are beauteous. Go forth, do the thing you do, and be good to yourself. You're the only you're gonna get. All right, goodbye, YouTube. I see you later. You're wonderful.